Hello. Hello. Let me just get my stuff ready. How are we all doing? There we go. Hi Tracy, hi Helen, hi Shelley, hi Sarah, hi Connie. Hello Jace, hello Jason. Hi. Hi. Right, I'm here. I'm just about here. I think I've turned everything off. For those that have jumped on and I haven't yet said hello to, I do apologise. So hello, a global hello. Let's just turn my phone off. Pancake Wheeler is there. Hi. Right, I think I'm about ready. I've only just unpacked some of my bags, so I've got a plan. Hi Caroline. Hi. It was so lovely to meet you too, Jason. It was so lovely to meet everybody. It was really nice. Hi, you're watching dinner, Shelley. Well done. We've just had ours. Fat Club weigh-in. Lost 3 pounds despite... Well, I didn't really be naughty, did I? Despite Ginny shouting at me. I was a very good girl. And it was a very lovely retreat, Caroline. I have to say, it was a lovely retreat. So let me just move my camera a little bit because it's a little bit wonky donkey. Hopefully that's evened it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. That's almost level. There we go. So I'm using set 1 again today for my Journal It templates available from That's Crafty. So Journal It template set 1. Hi Sue. Hi Stephanie. Hello. Good evening. Thank you. I've got my cup of tea on the way. Thanks, Steve. Oh, gosh. Is that the roller cola tea? Well, I'm actually going to put the dates out this week. I'll do, because I've got the next 3 dates available. So I will advertise the rest of the dates for the rest of the year. So if you do want to book on, all the projects have been planned and it will be very lovely. It'll be very lovely. Hi Sarah John, you alright, lovely? Sarah John's the star of the evening. Oh gosh, well as soon as I got in yesterday, Sarah, the Pancake gave me a massive squishy love, didn't he? He jumped up on me and he was in the lounge and he very rarely goes in the lounge. But he jumped up for a cuddle. Waffle's not really left me alone. And Kitty's been quite snuggly as well. When he's not been chucking up, yeah, but he does that, doesn't he? So I've got my phone, I've got my phone, I have got my templates, I've got some mount board, I've got some white card. So the plan for this evening, hi Patricia, hi Dawn, hello. The plan for this evening is it's not going to be very long, knowing me, it might be very long. Because I'm absolutely knackered, but I'm going to do a Concertina album. I've done them before, but I'm going to use set 1 to actually create it. So a lot of you have already got this set 1, and it is a very versatile set. For a lot of people it is the favourite set, and I think it might be one of my favourite sets as well as the fantasy one, which was set 8. But I'm actually going to be using my little trifold card, which is part of that set. So I'm going to use that to create my Concertina album. I'm also going to be using, I think, the Creative Muse stamps. So I think I'm going to be using, if he's not too fat, the cat, that big fat cat from Creative Muse Designs, which is also available from That's Crafty. I think they might be still in stock. So I think I'm going to use the cat because I do like the cat. Hi Dina! Hello, hello, hello. So they do have some very nice cats and very nice dogs, but as I am a cat person, I'm going to be using that one. Okay, so let's get going. Let's get going, shall we? And I've also, I think, I might do it on fabric, which is very exciting. Okay, so to start with, I want to do my covers. So to get my covers, and I'm ploughing straight into it today because that's what I feel like. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to draw around this template twice. In terms, I'm going to draw that one and that one so that I've got a front and a back cover. There we go. Who not watching me tonight? So I'm just going to draw both of those. So one will be the front and one will be the back cover. Now of course I've not got my craft knife, so I'm going to have to use my scissors because my craft knife is still in the bag, so I've not unpacked it yet. But because this is a nice grey board, it's not overly thick, so my scissors will go through it. Yeah, we had loads of fun at the retreat. It was such a nice weekend, and it was really lovely that we had 2 newbies on it as well. So it is always nice when there's a mixture of oldies and newbies. It is lovely. Hi Ginny, you alright, lovely? And then just straight down the middle. So I need a front and a back, and because it's going to be a concertina album, I can decorate both of them. I thought that would be quite nice. There we go. And I've managed to find my glue as well, because that but I've not got my poker tool. I'll have to use a needle to get the little gungy bit out. It might be okay. Yeah, so I hope everybody else has had a lovely weekend. My brain's still not properly recovered from it, I have to say. It always takes 2 or 3 days for me to come round a little bit from retreats because it's so intense when we're there. But a laugh as well, a nice bit of a giggle. It was very lovely. We had some nice little projects going. I did a lovely canvas by Jill on the Saturday, and I did a book on the Sunday. I think concertinas and flip-flaps are the order of the day, really, because I have got a flip-flap journal workshop on Saturday as well, and details of that are available on my page. I know a few of you have already signed up for it. It's a little 3-hour workshop, not very expensive. Right, so I've got my 2 covers, so I'm going to concentrate on these first. And I think I'm going to do it with some fabric. It wasn't particularly late, to be honest, Sarah, because we don't really... Yeah, we're usually that knackered after being all busy with the day of activities. And I'm going to paint over these as well, so I'm not too bothered that I've not gessoed the bottom of these first. If I was just putting the fabric over them, I would put a layer of white gesso on my grey board first, because it is quite see-through, this. Hi Christine, hi Margaret, hi Connie, hello, hello. So I'm just going to glue them onto the back. So if you've never sort of worked with fabric and grey board before, it's really easy to stick, and it's really easy to stick with double-sided sticky tape, not wet glue. So I'm just measuring enough so that I've got a nice sort of an inch border around my fabric. Oh, don't you worry, Margaret. You're here, that's all that matters. And I'm using my fabric scissors as well, so please do have a separate pair of scissors for your fabric. They don't have to be very expensive. I know Dunelm do some nice sets of scissors that are really sharp, and as long as you keep them separated from your paper craft and your fabric, you should be okay. And I'm not going to iron this because I'm not bothered it's a little bit creased, because I can stretch it around this grey board. So I've just cut myself 2 pieces of this nice, it's like a little calico fabric. It's quite thin, but I do like a bit of fabric on my journals, I have to say. Right, so double-sided sticky tape. So I've got this, this is the tissue tape from That's Crafty, and it's full of hairs and bits of string and all sorts. But once I've got my tape off it, it will be fine. Hi Jill, you alright? Have you recovered? We're both exhausted, to be honest. And then, so I'm just putting a little strip of double-sided sticky tape around the edge of these grey boards. Oh, hello Vicky, how are you doing? You making tea? Good girl. Hope you're doing alright. No, it's not. That's Crafty tape, Helen. There are other brands of tape available, but this is a very good one. And then just to make sure, I'm always going to burnish that down, just because it helps with that stick. It really does help. There we go. So this is a really nice quick project, and especially if you have got set 1. So for those that have just joined, I'm using my journaling templates available from That's Crafty, and I'm using set number 1. It was a lovely weekend, Vicky, thank you so much. Yeah, it was fabby fab. Oh, hello Brenda. Nice to see you. So, I know I've got a big crease line down it, but I'm okay with that. So all I'm going to do, because this piece is too big for what I want, let's just push it up there. And I'm just going to make a little mark with my pencil, just where I need to cut, because I just want about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch border all around my grey board. Like that. And I'll cut the second one the same. There we go. I think poor Steve's stuck with cooking tea on a Monday night now, unless I prep it first, because it's Fat Club night weigh-in, so by the time we get back it is tea time and I'm absolutely ravenous. So I've put no adhesive on the back of this grey board, which will eventually be the front. Oh, hi Karen, you alright, lovely? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Because you're not very well, are you, lovely lady? Well, that's okay, having a naughty takeaway. Bless you. You've been a poorly girl. So let's just... So I'm holding it down. I've got no adhesive on the back of it, because I don't want a gunge that's effectively going to be the front of my book. So I am just going to fold over those corners. Now, I don't normally do this with cardstock or paper if I'm covering a journal, but with fabric, I do like to turn those corners over. And then push those little edges in, and it's so much easier to get a nice neat finish, especially with a nice thin calico fabric. So as I'm gluing them down over the top, I'm stretching it a little bit, but there is going to be a little bit of a crease there, but I am going to paint on the back of this calico, so it doesn't really matter. So again, just using my fingers just to give it a nice crease, and then fold that over. So what I like when you've got these fabric corners, it gives a nice edge to it. I do like this fabric. So let's use my fingers again just to push those sides in, pulling it quite taut as I'm folding it over, and then that helps to get rid of any particular nasty creases that you might have. But because I'm painting over it, I'm going to put an image over the top of it. I'm okay with that, it's fine. So exactly the same with this one. I think I've burnished all these down. Chicken kebab is not bad at all. I had chicken kebab last night because we had takeaway tea last night because I was shattered. And I still lost £3. Hi Lorraine, hi lovely, how are you doing? It is the same material, it is, yeah. It is a really nice material to work with. I do make a lot of things with this material. So fold that over. So it is nice and easy to work with. There we go, fold that over. Give that a nice crease at the sides, push that up. Same at the top. I know it was 5.5 last week, so I've got my half stone award, and my sister has. So yeah, she's in competition with me now. And I won the raffle, so the raffle this week, the prize was the ingredients for vegetable biryani. So that's very exciting, including everything, all the spices, the cauliflower, all the different vegetables needed, the rice. So I can make that in the week. Right, that'll do, that's fine. So that is the two covers, one for the front, one for the back. However, because I'm doing it a Concertina Journal, you can decorate both really nicely, because it will be, you flip it over and it'll be the front, you flip it over and it'll still be the front, or you flip it over and it'll be the back, flip it over, it'll still be the back. Because it's going to be a concertina, you can do the covers however you would like to do them. Okay, so let's get some painting done first, and I'm not going to paint on this because this is my best card, so I am going to try and find a piece that's a little bit rammy, which is that one, and I'll get some paints. I've not even put my paintbrushes out yet from being away. I've just managed to find these little scrubby ones. There we go, and I'm going to paint straight out of the bottle as well, so I've not got a palette. So I want to do a fairly abstract background, so let's just get my favourite colours that I always use. Let's get a little bit of brightness in there, a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow, I think. Maybe a bit of green. Okay, so I've got that Crafty multi-surface paint in evergreen, apricot, ocean, Christmas red and mustard yellow. Now the little ones are part of the little set of 12 that are available as a kit, and the other ones are bigger ones, the apricot and the evergreen. Again, they'll last me a long time. So to start with, I'm going to go in with these lighter colours. Yes, get them ordered, Helen. Get them ordered, because it helps when you paint on your resin, you know, to paint those nice shapes that you might just have purchased. A palette is only a collection of paint leads. Exactly. Exactly. Right, so let's get my scrubby brush. I'm just going to go in with just a little bit of randomness. Now I'm not going to use a lot of water with this because I do want it to dry quite quickly, but I am going to try and blend some of those colours while the paint's still wet. So I am just going for very, I can't say very enough, a very random background. So around the edge bits, I'm not pressing on as hard with my paint because I want to be able to blend it with another colour. I know, there was a few others, Helen, it wasn't just yourself going down that resin rabbit hole. I can't wait for the new Stamperia to arrive at my door. I absolutely need to use it. Oh, Larry, it was lovely. It was such a lovely weekend. It was brill. Right, so let's get some of this blue. So mixing that blue with some of that yellow will create a bit of a blendable green as well. But I haven't really got much of this blue teal left in my pot, so it will be very random where that goes. And I am going to mix some of that with some of the yellow. Oh, hi Glynis, you alright, lovely? It is very random, you know me. So I do need to top that paint up as well. So what I'm doing, just before it dries, I'm just going to try and blend some of the harshness of that blue teal into that apricot as well, just to soften that as well. So it just gives me another sort of lighter blue as well. I do like that. Yeah, we did miss you, Glynis. We really did miss you. But I can't tell you how many people left things there. So it wasn't just you, Karen. Other people have left items at the retreat. Yes. Philippa Winter McCartney, here she is. Good evening, lady. Good evening. Right, so let's get a little bit of that yellow going. So as I say, when it hits that blue, we get a nice little mixture of green going as well. And because I've not painted the back of the grey board in gesso, it doesn't matter because I'm putting acrylic paint over the top of it, of this fabric, so you won't see that grey board underneath. So even if you don't think you've got a colour, just by colour mixing, you have got colours. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of red. I know, controversial, but I am. Oh, Karen, I know, but you were poorly, darling. You were poorly, weren't you? So that is excusable. As long as it hasn't been anybody's pants. I don't think Sarah John would have appreciated that, would you, darling? Yeah, Jill's just finishing hers off as well. It was a lovely journal. So just for these last little bits, I'm just trying to swirl, because it's a scrubby brush that I've got, I just want to try and swirl out some of the harsher lines. And by doing that as well, it just softens that red, because it is a Christmas red, it is a bright red. But just by softening the edges, it does just let it blend into the other colours as well. So I'm just doing like a little swirling motion because the paint is still a little bit wet. I have that blendability. Oh, those Arden Creative Design, the Hidden Creek, yeah, they're very rare now to get those papers until they actually do a reprint of them. But they are beautiful papers, and the accessories are lovely as well with them. The little embellishments and little journal cards and things. They're lovely. There we go. So it doesn't take long to colour in my cover. I quite like that. I quite like that a lot. There we go. So I think I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is dry it first with my heat gun, and then just see if there's any areas, because it's still a little bit wet, there might be some areas once I've dried it there are still a little bit bare. So if I heat it first, let's see what it looks like. So bear with if you've got your earphones on. Yeah, I'm sort of glad I was away at the retreat really this weekend and not able to attend the NEC, Sarah. Not that I needed to buy anything, but you know me. Right, I'm going to cover, there's a little bit there that I do not like, so I'm going to give a little bit of yellow to that. Oh, Karen, it's amazing, isn't it, how a little bit of shopping, that little click of the button, just makes you feel just that tiny little bit better. I fully appreciate that, and I'm with you with that therapy as well. Yeah, I think it's a nice little therapy that, when you get a little, you know, little surprise coming through your front door soon. I think every little helps to make you feel better. Absolutely. Let's just blend that out a little bit. Okay, I'm okay with, I like them. I think they're pretty smart. I like them. Okay, so that's my covers. I'm just going to leave them to one side. We're going to make a Concertina Journal, but I'm using set 1, and I'm using the trifold from set 1 to act as the cover and also the Concertina section. Oh, there you go. List therapy. Yes. Oh, hi, Ali. Hello. Missed you again this weekend, Ali, lovely. There, so I like my covers. I'm going to put them to one side, and then let's get my little stamp. So I'm going to use this cat because I think he is rather marvellous. Excuse me, little bibert notification. I don't know what that is. Let's get... Hi, Angela. We've got quite a nice group tonight. So, I've got my I Love Meow Creative Muse Designs. Got these from That's Crafty. Hi, Maxine. I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire in Fallen Leaves because I want it quite, not very harsh as a black ink would do. Like tapping, tip tap tap. And then, let me get myself, well, let me think, before the ink dries. Come on, come on, come on. Right, I'm actually going to use some watercolour paper. I know, I've always struggled with this with ink and paint, but let's see. 1, 2, 3. So I'm giving it a right good push down. There we go. I don't have to be gentle with that. I have to be less gentle with that because I really need to proper ink it up, ugliness. Anyway, how's that decorating going? But I did think of you several times over the weekend when I was gently-ing. Oh, right. Hi, Beverly. Oh, don't you worry. Oh, no. You fell over. Oh, no. Oh, blooming heck. Oh, bless you. Well, you know, it's easily done. It's easily done. I've had very many Peter K falls. Sideways, long ways, backwards, forwards. That's how half my knee was done because I tripped over some craft stuff sat next to me at my craft table. But I hope it's not too horrible. Oh, hi, Louisa. Oh, blimey, you're all in the wars today, aren't you? With falls and broken limbs. Well, a little bit of crafting therapy. Every little helps. Right, so I've double cat because I want a cat on the front and a cat on the back. Because that's what I want. I do want that, so I'm going to do it. That's what I'm doing. And you can't stop me. And I've also cut the side of my packaging so that it's easier to put back in when I'm trying to tidy up. Okay, so I'm using the Cardi watercolour paper, and I will have my smaller paintbrush. And what I want to do is just use the same sort of colour palette that I've used on that. Oh, got a house of virtually stripped it. Oh, well, that's the problem, isn't it? People have their own ideas then, don't they? They see something they've seen on the telly and they think, oh yeah, I'll have mine like that. So I've got a nice thin brush, and because I'm using the watercolour paper, I can use a little bit of water with my paints just to help spread them out a little bit. And I'm going to actually go in with a little bit of yellow first. So I have got a little bit of water on my brush just to help spread those colours around a little bit. There we go. So a nice little bit of yellow generally around a little fat cat. Hi, Maureen. Got lots of nice people in tonight. Not that there isn't usually nice people, but we've got even extra nice people in today. Even more. There we go. So he's going to be a little bit of a random cat. Get some of his tail painted. So I am being very, very random with this painting. But I do want to try and match the colours that I've already used. Oh, dirty madam. Your ankle brace feels weird. Yeah, I've got my knee brace. I don't mind it actually. Yeah, it's sometimes worse a couple of days after, isn't it? Because I think a bit of an adrenaline hits when you first have it happen, and that helps numb a bit of the pain. But then, yeah, it can get a little bit achy, can't it? So in situations like that, I find it's very much easier to stay in bed. So I do recommend that. So just painting my little stubby cat. He is rather lovely. Oh, the doggies always try and help. Well, my cats don't help at all. They just sit there laughing at me if I've done anything calamitous. They just want to know where the next food is coming from. Right, they do need a little red nose. That's the law. And some little pink cheeks. But it comes together quite quickly. Right, let's get my blue going. So it is nice that you can actually water some of this acrylic down, especially when you are running low on it. Anyway, Sarah John, I was missing my breakfast this morning. I was used to me egg and, well, I didn't have egg, but my bacon and sausage breakfast. Yeah, talking about forgetting things, I forgot my sausages, didn't I, that I ordered. But I think I will be rendezvousing with our Sarah John this week sometime to collect them. Oh, let me just stick my leg out. That's better. Yeah, I always get them on order when Sarah John's at the butcher's at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't really know that time, but still. So I think I'll do a bit of a nice stir fry with those sausages this week, with some nice balsamic vinegar to create like a little bit of a teriyaki sauce with them, with a little bit of garlic, a little bit of ginger, just to get that teriyaki sauce flavour. I do like cooking with vinegar when I'm on it with my diet, with my slim. Well, it's not a diet; it is lifestyle choices. With my slimming world, so it is quite nice to do a bit of experimentation. I used to do a lot of curries, but using fromage frais and tomato puree, you know, to do like a chicken tikka masala with all my little spices, but I'd use fromage frais instead of cream. Oh, I am very much liking my little cat. So I won't be long finishing him, because the book itself to put together is very quick. And we are going for a sort of a fairly quick project tonight because I'm absolutely shattered. I don't know about you, but when you're away for a while and then come back, I can never get back into the rhythm of sleeping properly for a good few days afterwards. Okay, right, I'm just going to put a little bit more red on a couple of little bits, and then I'll do his little main colour then, which is going to be the apricot. Oh, you've just joined, have you? Well, I was going to do a little a little feature, I think, in one of my groups. It's like a recipe of the day, just to help motivate people with some recipe ideas, because I do quite a lot of nice recipes. So it is quite nice to encourage and share little ideas. You slept okay? Of course you did, Sarah John. I bet you were just like collapsed with exhaustion, didn't you, darling? Honestly, Sarah John is such the best hostess with the mostest, and the best bacon in the country. Well, in the world, I would say. The bacon from Sarah John's Butchers is just delicious. Right, so the last little section of my cat is going to be in this apricot, and I've watered him down a little bit just so that I can still see the stamp lines when I paint over them. I'm trying very hard not to go over the lines, so you can still see that little patchwork effect. But it does take the paint very well. There we go. So it's not taken that long, has it really, to watch paint dry? There we go. Oh, he's a nice fat cat. Oh, you've got the beds to do today, bless you. Oh, you fell asleep till 10 o'clock. Oh, well, I know Karen fell asleep, didn't you, last night? And I'm tired today. I was all right last night, but I was yawning my head off at Fat Club. We've got a bit of a busy day tomorrow, but then I can just relax a little bit for the rest of the week, I think. And then I've got a little workshop Saturday morning, which is a flip-flap album. And then Sunday I'm out in Manchester, actually, going for a meal for my niece's birthday, great niece's birthday. So I'm going to, that'll be nice. I've not driven into central Manchester for quite a while, so that'll be interesting. But because it's a Sunday, I'm hoping it's not going to be loopy crazy. But you never know. Right, so there's my little spotty cats. I just think they're quite quirky. I like them a lot. Right, so let's shift those out of the way. Let's give them a quick blast. Hi Jan, hi Sharon. Okay, let's pop them away because I don't need them. I've got no small scissors out because they're still packed in my trolley dolly, so big scissors are going to have to suffice to cut this out. Big scissors if I know what I've done with them. Hello, hello. There we go. It's pretty dry. So it really doesn't take that long to dry. Okay, so let's just cut them out. And I like these because they are big fluffy cats. And they've got a really nice, easy outline to cut out as well. They're not too messy to cut out. I like easy shapes to cut out. Philippa Ducarte's back in the room. Is that your internet connection rubbish? Lovely. Another 50p in that meter. Do 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 do. Castle Crafts, are they? Gosh, that's a shock as well. Gosh, got quite a few of their stamps. That's a couple of the French companies then, because Carabelle went as well, didn't they? I'm sure they're a French company, aren't they? Interesting. Okay, so that's one little beauty. And that's the other one. Well, I think it'll be this, you know, it won't be the last one to close. It is very, very tough out there. It really is. Do 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 do. Last little bit to cut out. Yeah, so I think next week and probably the next 3 weeks afterwards, it'll be mainly Stamperia. Hidden, what is the new one called, Jill? Hidden Grove, is it? Or is that the Arden Creatives? They're all very similar. Hidden Creek, Hidden Grove. Oh, there we go. So if you wanted to, you could always go over it if you have gone over the lines with a little bit of extra pen, just to highlight some more areas. So I have got a permanent pen just to go over some of the lines that have lost definition. I have smudged a bit, but it's okay. There we go, my lovely little cat. He's quite sweet. I know it is a shame. I know, it's lovely, that Hidden Grove. I cannot wait to get my stuff. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so we have Cat 1, Cat 2. So I just thought they'd be quite nice. No, they're definitely a gnome, Sarah, aren't they? There we go. So I've got a little cat at the front of one and a little cat at the front of the other, because we don't really have a back and a front with a concertina. We have two fronts really. So let's stick those on. I'm just using that's Crafty multi-purpose adhesive to stick this little beauty on. I'm going to have to use my pin again, I think, because I have gunged it up a little bit. Oh, that's another one as well, Maxine, isn't it? I will be getting the Hidden Grove. I think it'll be possibly, I think it'll be middle of the week when we get ours. Just going to have to degunge this, because I never put the lid on, it's my own fault. So I do get big blobby bits stuck in the passageway, so to speak, with me glue. And then it comes out all in one go, doesn't it, Sarah John? Do you remember that with the paint on Saturday? We were painting and I squeezed the tube of red and it literally went everywhere. And Sarah John's just like appalled at me. But I didn't get any on you, did I? It contained itself to the table. But it was just this massive loud pop when the lid flew off. There we go. Right, that's better. Now he's shaping. So plenty of glue on this. Oh, I know. So we had a naughty table on the Saturday, and it was Sarah, John and I, and we were just like giggling like kids, weren't we? And then Sunday, the naughty table consisted of Jill, Sarah, John and Karen. And they too were very naughty and not listening to teacher. and just racing ahead, creating extra flaps, extra flips, when they shouldn't have been extra flaps or extra flips. Oh yeah, we had to sing everything we could possibly sing as well. Any opportunity for a sing song. Right, so they're now stuck on there. I've got my lovely little cat, so I'm going to get my marker pen again. And that's better. I'm just going to ground the cat, and I mean just add a little line so he's actually sat on something rather than just be floating in his little cloud of colours. So he's actually got something that he's sat on, so he's got a little bit of ground below him. You could have him floating if you wanted to, but if I had him floated, I'd give him a little bit of a kink up the other way. Yeah, we won't talk about that, Jill. It just wasn't the right top that you added at the time. But all was well that ended well. Okay, right, so that's my covers done. Let's shift them out of the way. Let's shift that. I've got no paint on that. And then get to my concertina. So again, I am going to use my little trifold. Now with this, what I want to do is create an extra little flap on the edge of it. So I'm just going to put it up to my paper. Well, no, this is cardstock. It's quite a nice thick cardstock, this, but you could use paper, you could use material, whatever you wanted to create your inside pages with. But all I'm going to do is just draw around the template first and then just move it up approximately 1/4 of an inch. So if it's easier, get your ruler that's 1 inch along the top and just, well, it's more like, let's do it 1/2 inch. So all I'm doing, I'm just lining, you can't see that, can you, because it's just too above the camera. So all I've done, I've lined up my ruler with the edge of where I've just drawn the line, and I've just moved the template across so it's still lined up at the top by 1/2 inch, and then just drawn an extra little tab there. Yep, so I've got extra tab, and I'm going to do the same underneath. So I've got 2 on this piece, and you can do, I'm using A3 card, but you can do A4, whatever you want to use, but just try and create that extra tab. So if you do A4, you'll probably do it lengthways like that. Yes, both cats still got the tails. Yes, they have. They have still got their tails, and I'll just draw down the line that I've already created there. And then I'll turn that way so I can get another concertina. I could probably have done it a different way and got more out of it, but knowing me, I never do. So again, let's put my ruler up against this, right, flush across the top, move it across so that it lines up with that line and the 1/2 inch line, so that I've got a 1/2 inch flap at the side of my trifold like that. And then I'm just going to do that once more with feeling. But I'm not going to do a flap on this one. You can't make me, so I'm not. Because for the front and back inside pages, you do not need that extra flap. So I'm just going to see how it all works out, because I might cut one of those off, but we'll just see when we put it all together. So let's cut these out now, and then we can score them. So I'll save that for the back page, yeah, so I'm not going to cut anything extra yet. I'm just going to leave that as the trifold. Let's shift this cardstock out the way. And then cut these 3 out. So you can use a paper trimmer, but big scissors will work if you can cut in a straight line. And if you can't cut in a straight line, it don't matter. It no matter. And then down the centre. And then the last one. There we go. So now I need my score tool and my ruler just to score those lines. And don't forget the little tab line as well. I do like a concertina book, I do, I can't help it. I just think they're very versatile. Well, that sun last week, it was a bit of a false spring, wasn't it? Because it's blooming freezing today. And obviously, because I've lost 3 pounds this week, I can feel the cold now. That extra layer that's gone from the 58 layers that are there, it's made a huge difference to me feeling the cold. Oh, I don't need to score that one, do I? Because I'm not cutting that one. Right, I'll score that one just in case and score that one. Okay, right, so we've got 4 trifolds, 3 of which have got the extra little tab on the end. Oh, well, I hope it gets a bit warmer by the weekend, Sue, because we deserve it. We do, we deserve it. Right, let's get rid of all those little bits in the big bin. Okay, so this is the nice bit. This is the folded backwards and forwards to Concertina, my little pages. There we go. Right, and when you're scoring this and you're folding it, and this was a little top tip at the weekend, fold it underneath so your tab is underneath when you fold it, because it doesn't then distort your fold. If you try and fold it that way, the danger is that you will stretch the card out of shape of being a nice flush edge. So, top tip of the evening, fold your flap underneath when you're scoring it. It makes it nice and straight. Top tip of the day. Because we do like a top tip at these little lives, don't we? Because that's what it's all about. You did learn that this weekend. See, somebody was paying attention. Thank you, Helen. Go to the top of the class. Let's give that another score, because it is quite a thick card. So again, fold it under so that the line and the fold is underneath, so that when you fold it, it does not distort your little flap, because we don't want distorted flaps, do we? So the last one, again, fold it so that the flap is underneath. And I'll just fold this one, and then I'll decide if we need to cut it off at the second piece, but we'll just work it out as we go along. Okay, right. No gussets, no. Yes, fold underneath. So I now have my two covers there and there. There. And I'm not bothered really about a fastener with this, but if you did want a bit of a ribbon fastener, you would put it under just one of these. So if you've got a nice long piece of ribbon, attach it under one of them first. I wouldn't put it under both of them, just one of them, because otherwise you're not going to be able to have that concertina effect. And I don't know whether I've got any ribbon. What have I got there? I might have a bit of string. Let's have some string on it, shall we? Ow, 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 ow. See, Jason didn't really get involved in any of the crafting, but I think secretly he really wanted to, didn't he? I think he did. Right, there we go. So I've got a piece of string there. How long is a piece of string? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to punch a little hole. I'm going to punch a little hole with my hole punch just on his little hand there. It may or may not work, but let's just go for it, shall we? The evening is a little bit of experimentation, if it's nothing else. Right, so let's pop his little... Let's see how high that one is. They're about the same. See, I've stuck them in exactly the same place, haven't I? That might be a little bit higher, so let's get that little bit of string there. You're in the kebab shop now. No kebab shop this evening. There was the first lot of fat clubs I used to go to. Gosh. We all used to pile in there. Right, let's get my needle. Let's try and poke that through. So I'm just trying to poke my string through my hole. Nothing to see here. Oh, oh no, I'm in the kebab shop. Helen. Hello, kebab shop. As long as it is just chicken, and don't have any sauce on it either. Do not have sauce. Okay, so rather than tying a knot, what I'm going to do, I am just going to pop it around there and stick a nice bit of double-sided sticky tape over the top of that. First of all. There we go. And it's only thin string, so if you have got a bit of ribbon, that's probably a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to stick my first concertina onto my cover so that it goes over the top. So what I'm going to do is add some wet glue all the way around, but I'm also going to put a row of double-sided tape as well, just to give it that little grab to start with. So come on, out you come. So a line of wet glue is probably easier to put the tape on first, but let's live dangerously, shall we? And then a little line of double-sided tape. That'll do. Peel that off. Okay, and let's stick that down. So it is easier to do your concertina first, but I'm doing it this way instead. So that's my first page, so that creates that little mechanism there. So what I'm going to do now is add some glue down that little strip there. Excuse me for the noises, it was the glue, honest. And then what you need to remember is whether you're going mountain or valley. So because I've got a valley there with that little tab that's sticking up, I need to go mountain. So it goes mountain, valley, mountain, valley. As long as you remember that, you're not too far off. So I'm just going to stick that piece of trifold. Trifold, not trifle, but a trifle about this time would be really tasty, even though I'm not a trifle lover. So I'm just going to fold that up. Give that a press down because I need to make sure it's nice and stuck before we do anything else. So you can use double-sided tape, but I always find tape on its own is not as permanent as your wet glue. So you've got just a tiny little tab then on the back of that. So this time we're going to glue the mountain. So the first one we glued our valley, this time we're going to glue the mountain. So I do have another concertina album as part of my journaling templates, but this is a smaller version because I'm using that smaller trifold. So this time, because I've glued a mountain, I want to glue a valley, so it's the V shape. And then that sticks over the top. So let's just press that down in place. Make sure it's stuck down. So doing it like this, all of your little tabs are going to be at the back rather than at the front. But when you turn it over, they are going to be at the front and not the back. But I always like just to do them flush at the front of my books. Okay, so now I'm going to glue my valley. So I'm not putting loads of glue, I'm not smothering it, just enough of a layer. So again, I've done a valley, so this time I need to do a mountain. So what I need to now decide is how many pages I'm putting on this last fold. Okay, so let's just make sure that's nice and stuck down. So when I close it all up, what I need is just to cut that last bit off. So I moved too quickly, sorry glue. I didn't give it time, did I? Let it brew. So this last one was the trifold without the extra tab. So the first three had tabs on. The last one is just the trifold, and this is just the extra piece of card at the end of where I drew round it. So if I just trim that off. So I've created 4 sets of trifold concertinas. 3 had little extra tabs of 1/2 inch, and the last one was just the trifold as it was. So that now when I fold it all together, that last piece now gets stuck to that page. So again, let's just give it all a nice good fold. And then let's put some double-sided tape easy to put the tape on first than glue it first, but I'm just bringing it in about 1/4 of an inch just so that I can put the wet glue around the edge, because that's going to be the permanent hold. So I always want that to be towards the edge of the page rather than in the centre. Give that a good crease. And then let's take this backing off. Come on, get off. I've cut one of my fingernails, and it's one that I sometimes use, and it's really annoying until it starts to grow back, because I cut it right close to the nib. So a nice little dollop of glue. I'm going to just wipe it so it doesn't ooze out too much. And then that then, make sure that your cats are the right way up, or it might be a bit loopy. You might want it upside down, it's up to you. But just make sure that if you want it the right way up, make sure your cats are the same way up. And then all I'm going to do is just line that front and back cover up together, give it a little bit of a squishy move. It's got a little bit of flexibility having the tape as well as the wet glue. And there we have our lovely concertina. So all I'm going to do now is get my pen again, my nice permanent marker pen. Let's see if I've got my Posca on there. That might be a bit thicker. Might be thicker, but it's run out, so that can go in the bin. Yeah, don't keep things that aren't working. Let that be a lesson to you. So all I'm going to do is just do a little bit of stitchery around this, just to match the little patchwork stitch effect of our little cat. So I'm only doing this because my paint is now dry. Don't do it on wet paint. You're going to ruin your pens. Don't be ruining your pens. So a little bit of faux stitchery around this. Let's put a little bit of bits and pieces on it. Turn that round. Let's do this one. A little bit of faux stitchery. But a permanent black pen can be your friend in lots of situations. A little bit of messing, there we go. That'll do. So there we have, is holding his little piece of string. So that can just tie round a couple of times, just tuck under, and that holds it in place. So we've got our little cat, front and back, and then it's got a lovely texture to it because I've used a fabric cover, and then it just opens out to be a very nice long concertina album, and it's a lovely size, so it makes the pages 3 by 5, which is a nice little size for journaling, for writing on, for pictures, whatever. But there we go. And you can even have it so that it's sat out like that with the two cats on either end, like a bookend, like that. So you can have them so that they're sort of facing you on your bookshelf as you've got them out. But there we go, that's tonight's little live. What time? 8:15. See, I knew it wasn't going to be just an hour, but it was a nice little project. So yeah, placement's perfect for that little piece of string, isn't it? I like it. I like it a lot, and it's not too bulky there. Because I've used cardstock rather than paper, you can't really see where I've stuck it down either. But there we go, lovely. So that's tonight's live. I was using set 1 journaling templates, the trifold, available from That's Crafty, and I've also used the Creative Muse I Love Meow Cat. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Really enjoyed your company. So where will I be next? Probably that journaling templates club on Friday afternoon. I have my flip flap journal workshop Saturday morning. Details of that are on my page, Liz Wheeler or Liz Wheeler Designs. It's only £10. It's my £10 Tuesday workshops, but it's on a Saturday and not even a Sunday this time. I've also got next Tuesday is part 2 of the mixed media workshops, which is the second part after the first one, which was the colour theory one. So if you still want to join that, there are recorded videos available. But other than that, have a lovely week, everybody. Goodbye to my lovely friends from the retreat. I'll see you soon. I'll miss you already. And I'll see you when I see you next Monday here. Definitely. All right, lovelies. See you later. Well, I'm not just quite gone. Oh, yeah, free. I'm ready. Finished. Yay. Yeah, all finished. Okay, lovelies. Bye.